I'm Yuusha. I'm not really sure what I'm calling this video yet, as it's kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing. It might turn into more, I'm not really sure. Also, why do I look like this? I just filmed a video, you can see the picture of it right here. So I just thought, while I look like this, it'd be funnier to record it like this. Got a little bit of makeup still left on my eyes, you know. Essentially, what's happening in this video is I'm looking at videos that you have sent me. Certain individuals, I put out a call on Twitter basically saying, hey, if you're a YouTuber, send me the video you're most proud of, or something like that. And the plan is for me to sit here and watch them and talk about them. And, you know, it's a way for me to find more cool videos out there from people I might not have necessarily watched in the past, and also relay them to you. So the first video we're looking at today is from a member of my Discord, which you can join in the link below if you fancy. A member called ThatGuyJoeUK, and a close personal friend of mine as well. I have met him in real life, you can see it in the vlog, and it is entitled Enthusiastic Bouncing Boob Lady. Good content, Joe. Fucking thumbs up, bro. So this is another video from a member of my Discord. His name is JDMJames88, and he's very much a car enthusiast, what we should say, and he's actually quite a fan of my own stuff. He's made that very abundantly clear, so I appreciate you always sticking around and watching my stuff, James. Thank you very much. So today we're having a look at his video, Likely Review. Now, that might sound familiar to some people because I used to make a series of videos on my channel called Unlikely Reviews, because I used to be Unlikely Yuusha, and then decided I didn't care for the name Unlikely, so I just became Yuusha. So James, being a big car fan, he naturally wanted to do a racing game, and you know, he's spoken to me on many an occasion about how he wants to be a YouTuber to some capacity and whatnot, and he always asks me like how to get started, what should I do, how do I do this. I'm like, bro, you just gotta do it.
Hey everyone, it's JDMJames88, and I'm sorry for having the worst upload schedule ever, but today we are here to
Oh, James, you're so adorable, dude. That's like the trope of every like budding YouTuber. Like, James, you got 19 subscribers and you're saying, I'm sorry I don't upload enough. Like, I just think that's funny, you know? I'm not criticizing at all. I really appreciate that, but it's a thing a lot of YouTubers have when they first start out, you know? They have this idea. It's funny because people say that, like, oh, I'm not uploading enough, I'm sorry, I'm not active enough. It's almost more of like a criticism to yourself. Like I said that in the past, I believe. And the reason is, it's more you want to be hard on yourself and be like, why don't I upload enough? Why haven't I uploaded enough? You know, it's not a commentary on fan demand or anything like that. And it is a good mentality to have because it shows that you do care to a certain extent about, you know, maintaining some form of YouTube schedule. Anyway, let's get back into it.
review Grid 2. I do plan on getting this out before Grid 2019 releases, but we'll just have to wait and see if I can actually pull it off.
Did that happen?
Grid 2 is a racing game developed and published by Codemasters. It was originally part of the Turco racing game series, but in 2008, Race Driver Grid released and they removed the Turco name entirely.
Damn, that's a lot of images there, James. I appreciate the editing, dude. I really do.
And the series just became Grid. But anyway, the reason why I'm making this review in the first place. Well, besides promising a friend on Discord, ThatGuyJoeUK, that I would do this, so here we are.
ThatGuyJoeUK being an ever-present entity in all of your lives if you join the Discord. It's gonna happen, you know. Also, I hope you mentioned, James, why it was taken off Steam, because, you know, as the viewer, as you're sitting watching something, you can sort of gauge how a viewer is going to interpret your video and what kind of information they're interested in. So you say, this game has been taken down off Steam, but I'm curious as to why that's the case. So people say I ramble too much in my videos about little tidbits of detail, information and stuff like that, but I just like to cover all my bases. That's why I do it, you know. Anyway.
Now, as usual with racing games, you start by getting thrown into a race and just told to go. But in this case, you drive a 1970s Ford Mustang Mark I Twister Special through the Chicago Riverside.
Okay, one criticism. So all I'm thinking right now is how I kind of wish the audio balance was a little bit more voice heavy. It's always difficult. I remember when I started, I got so many people criticizing me for not being able to hear the videos properly. Like, in general, the audio on the video was too low, and I've even had instances where my mixing hasn't been good, to where you can't hear my voice over like music and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's weird because as a YouTuber like who makes this sort of content, you get into this sort of mindset. I need video, I need voiceover, and I need music and game footage and stuff like that, right? And it's like, do you really need that? Do you always need music? Like in the last video I made prior to this, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, I didn't really use much music throughout that because I thought the game had a really interesting atmosphere and I wanted to really show that off. And I always find that, like, if I'm just sitting talking and there's music in the background, I'm like, what's really going on here? Am I really showing off the game here if it's just constant music and talking? It just doesn't feel fun to me. It doesn't feel like it's got enough variety. So with that game, I had very little music. I had occasional music, but very little throughout, and more if the moment struck, I would use gameplay audio. It's an interesting look at the way people make these sorts of videos. There is like a sort of like almost like a blueprint in mind for everybody who makes these, where like they got to do things a certain way. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Complete your first race, you travel to Indianapolis to learn basic game mechanics like when to brake.
Oh my god.
And
so James, here you have, not only do you have voiceover and music, you've got game audio in the background as well, and it feels busy. Like it definitely feels very busy in my ears.
Rewind mechanic, which is present in most code vacuum to the ground, but in a good way. Occasionally you will slide, but it usually happens when you take a corner too aggressively or if an AI driver just moves you out of the way with or without your consent. But anyway, when you finish the training, you get to go to your garage.
I'm just thinking about this. James, did you record this all in one take? Because it feels like it doesn't feel like a YouTube video where like the audio has been very like it's been recorded in sec. That's how I do it. I've got like 20-page scripts or something like that. I can't sit and like perfectly flawlessly record it all in one go. So I do paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence, etc. But it sounds like James just sat here and like just talked through the whole thing without stopping. He's even got like little moments where he's like yeah, I have like the occasional and in there. It's quite funny.
To enter a name, age, nationality, and choose a nickname for yourself. When you finish entering your credentials, you get invited to a new Union race event on the Pacific coast of California. After finishing this race, you finally get to pick a car. You have the option of the Nissan 300ZX Twin Turbo and the Nissan Silvia S15 Spec R Aero. Okay.
So, James, you listed off a bunch of cars there and didn't show any images of them. That's the only thing, because I understand you know what these cars are, you know. But me, I don't even drive, man. I don't even have a license. I have no idea when it comes to cars. So, in situations like that, when you're presenting information, it is helpful to just provide some sort of visual aid to, you know, be it like other game footage. You need to make it clear to the viewer, this is the thing I'm talking about. Just to make, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, no idea what that is, you know, and it kind of does bring you out of it a little bit, because then you feel like you're not part of what's going on to a certain degree. There's that gap in information there, because you can get tunnel vision when making these things, because if just because I know it, you like to assume many other people might know about what it is, you know. There we go.
I chose the 300ZX. One great feature of this game is the livery creator. Now granted, it's not that deep, but you can pick a color pattern and number challenge stuff. There are also cars in this game if you haven't noticed already. Yeah, great segue, I know.
There are also cars in this game if you haven't noticed. You know, it's funny, James, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you, because that's the kind of shit I would say in my video, man. Like, it really is. Like in case you haven't noticed, there's this really fucking obvious thing in this game, and I don't know why. When I'm writing videos, I really do feel compelled to write shit like that. It's and he addressed it like I know, great segue, but it's true. You know, when you're writing these videos, you do tend to like overly simplify certain aspects of it. It's really silly, honestly.
But there are quite a few cool cars, like for instance the Ford Mustang Mark I, Nissan Silvia S15, and Nissan 300ZX that I mentioned earlier. But there are other cool cars like the BMW M3 E30 Performance Edition, the Subaru BRZ, the Nissan Skyline GTR R34 Z-Trim.
Look at this boy. He's like listening to my advice in past tense. You know, he's retroactively proving me wrong. It would have been handy earlier on, but here he's actually listing off the cars and showing them in game. Fuck yeah. Good boy, James.
the Mazda RX-7 Type RZ, the Honda S2000, the modern Ford Mustang Boss 302, the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG, the Dodge Challenger SRT8 392, the Tony Kuso Subaru Impreza WRX STI, the Aston Martin V12 Zagato, the Honda NSX-R, the Pagani Huayra, and last but not least my personal favourite car in the game, the Auto Gallery Nissan Skyline GTR R32.
Of course, even growing up, people in my town be like, oh fuck dude, Skyline, of course James, of course.
There are also classes of cars in this game, like Demo Derby, Drift, Euro and Euro Classic, Grand Tourer, GT3, Hot Hatch, IndyCar, JDM and JDM Classic, Lightweight.
JDM Classic, that's, I think I know where your name came from now, right? I'm assuming that's the case anyway.
Muscle and Classic Muscle, Roadster, Sports Coupe, Super, Touring, and my favourite class, Super Modified. Each car in this group fall into a specific tier. There are 4 main tiers, but IndyCar and Demo Derby are also separate tiers. Now at this point I'm rambling quite a bit, but I just wanted to give you some perspective.
Oh, James, you're so fucking adorable, dude. It's like, I just want to give you, like, he kept that in, he kept the flub in. Oh, that's fucking funny, man. Oh. Hang on, what else was it you said?
There are 4 main tiers, but IndyCar...
Oh, yeah. You said, oh, I'm rambling now. And it's funny, you see, when you're making a video, I feel that's another thing I do. I feel the need to be like, oh, I know I'm rambling here, or something like that. But, you know, as the viewer, it doesn't actually feel like you're rambling, really. You're just kind of taking in the information as they're talking about it, because to someone in the know, it might come across as rambling, but to someone like me who has very little knowledge about these things, as I'm paying attention and listening, it really doesn't feel like a ramble. It feels like you're just dishing out more information about what you're talking about. So maybe I should learn from that and not worry so much about rambling and stuff in videos. Just, if you ever feel like writing in a video, oh, sorry I'm rambling here, or like, I know that's a bit of a tangent, just fucking don't. Just go for it, you know? Like, just keep on going. Doesn't matter. Just make what you want to make. If people think you're rambling, fuck them. I'm learning from you, James.
Derby are also separate tiers. Now at this point I'm rambling quite a bit, but I just wanted to give you some perspective on the stuff you have to drive, a certain time limit, and get more time the more checkpoints you cross.
So here you're listing off the kinds of races. I feel like in this instance it definitely would have been helpful to have like some sort of like bullet point list, just to sort of, you know, because as you're saying, I am kind of forgetting as you go further into it. So just to reinforce it and keep everybody in the loop, having some visual aid there definitely would help. So the main critique I have throughout this thing, James, is just more editing, dude. You like just more on screen, more things going on, and we can all learn from that, honestly. Because I'm sure as we're watching this together, even you might agree to some extent, you know.
An endurance race where you have a set time to travel as far as possible, and then at the end you have a demolition derby where you beat the crap out of other racers on the track and then win the race. Overall, Grid 2 is a great arcadey racing game, and it's probably my favourite game in the series. I have pre-ordered the new Grid, so we'll have to wait and see if it's any better than the last games. If I were to give this game a ranking, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a fun little game, and I recommend you buy it any way possible.
I recommend you buy it. Oh, dude, your audio is really funny. Like I know it's not intentionally funny, but it's adorable, honestly, because like I'm a perfectionist. Whenever I make the tiniest little fuck up in an audio, I have to redo it. I'll even, like, if I just say things slightly incorrectly to where I'm like, it sounds fine, but I'm still not happy with it, I will have to re-record it, you know. But you're just kind of like, buy it, you just keep that stuff in. In a way, it's quite endearing, but definitely going forward, if you intend to do more of these, it's a good idea to just keep your audio and stuff like that to a professional level. But honestly, it's a lot of fun regardless, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Like go to a game shop like EV Games, or buy a key for it on Steam. Thanks for watching this short review of Grid. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for other games I can review like this, just ask me in the comments below and I'll consider it. But no promises. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next review or other video that I make. Bye.
subscribe to JDM James, bro. Fucking do it. Oh, God. Let's leave a comment, shall we? Where's that new Grid 2019 review, bro? Love heart. Right. So, JDM James, fuck man, you know, I gotta say, if you intend to keep on doing more of these, you've definitely got the makings of a good YouTuber, you know? As I said, the audio mixing was my only real complaint, because throughout you have like one piece of music playing, and this is the problem I have personally when it comes to my editing and stuff, is I like the variety. I like a video that goes through the motions a little bit, where like every piece of the audio and stuff is a little bit more tailored, a little bit more hand-picked, that sort of thing. Whereas if you have like just one thing of music going through and you're just kind of talking over it, it can feel a little bit like a PowerPoint presentation or something like that. You know, like where it's more about you talking than about the presentation as a whole, you know? So yeah, only real critique I have there for you, James, is audio mixing, maybe a clearer microphone. I don't know, I feel like you did get a new microphone since then, I can't remember. And also just more visual editing. But if you made another one of those, I would happily sit here and watch it, dude. So honestly, if you're watching this, I'm gonna have links to all these YouTubers in the description, by the way. Go subscribe to JDM James 88, please. He fucking deserves it, man. He's a good loon, that JDM. So next, we're moving on to BratKat. Birthday Party Bash review. This is her most recent video, by the way. Whew. I should just quickly point out, I'm currently working on a collaboration with Miss BratKat here, so please consider subscribing to her. She's a very cool YouTuber and a good friendo. So anyway, let's get into this. It's full screen. Sailor Jerry, good ROM. Such a brooding, moody intro.
Nobody came to my birthday party!
Oh, mood.
And after I sent out all those nice invitations, too! And I bought a brand new Wii game for the party! Oh well. I guess I'm gonna have to play Birthday Party Bash.
That's like what I would do.
All by myself.
Like I'd be like, oh guys, you come to my party. I bought a new Wii game. I feel like I've legitimately done something like that in the past, so that's good.
Meanwhile,
Where'd that transition come from? Back to the Future.
okay.
Right, who is this loon? I need to check. I'm guessing it's in the description. I know one of the guys here, so that's Petronius. The other guy's Tomato Ghost, I think.
For that.
So, how was that?
I
You
dig
know,
his
it was
puppet.
only the single worst game I've played in recent memory.
Is he English? Are you from the UK, dude? Hit me up.
You know, I think my main problem with it is that when you compare this one to the other ones, it's just not as good. You're not even listening, are you? Of course not. You just sat there doing that stupid face. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it properly, you know.
Ooh.
Wait, what the hell was that?
I love like all these like sound effects that remind me of like Gary's mod videos. You know, like Kitty0607, I think that's his name. He would use that kind of sound effects from like SpongeBob and stuff, and in like Nickelodeon cartoons and stuff.
Oh, nice. I've been invited to a birthday party. This is freaking cool.
Hey, that is pretty cool. Have I been invited too?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, well, sucks to be you. I'm gonna go to that then, so good luck with whatever you're doing. See ya.
Cool room. I like it.
Well, what the hell do I do now?
And now the intro
Birthday
plays.
Party Bash
Right into
is
it.
essentially a mini game collection that was intended to be played at some unfortunate child's birthday party. It even came with party invitations so that your guests would know what they had in store for them.
Dude, if I got a fucking birthday party invitation that was like, had like a game on it, I'd be like, oh, this guy's my kind of person. I'm going to that fucking party and I'm bringing some booze. Fucking shoes, dog. Mine are black though. I'm pretty sure those are the exact same fucking shoes. What a trendsetter.
Well, as far as heists go, that was bloody terrifying. And life-threatening.
And yet you keep doing more.
That's because it's fun. Also getting in my practice before Dracula, so I don't die horribly. And I have some level of competency and knowing what I'm doing.
I suppose it gives me a purpose.
Where's Mewtwo?
I believe he mentioned something about training for the upcoming battle.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So it shouldn't be too long until we're ready for Dracula, it seems.
Was that me or you?
It appears I've received a message.
You can do that?
Apparently so. I had better show it to you. A good old-fashioned
Someone
birthday
uses Sony
party?
Vegas.
Well, that sounds like a trick if ever I've heard one. Well, just as well I got a haircut.
When did you do that?
Just now. But how can I miss the call to adventure? And it is Canada, which is lovely. I've been there. Although it might take me a while. I've got things to do, you see. Things to plan. Who knows how long my hair will be by the time I get there.
Where's Tom? He just got in. Alright, good. I think I'm ready.
Okay, I just gotta say it now, I have no fucking clue what any of that was about. So I'm assuming Tomato Ghost has some sort of like recurring story or like, you know, plot within his videos. But me as an outsider, I'm left feeling a little bit lost with that one, honestly. Like obviously I'm not trying to be a dick or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, without any kind of prior context, it just feels like a lot of like it almost feels like missing out on an in-joke, you know, like, because I have so little context for what just happened. Like, why is he talking about Dracula? What's with the Wiimote sword? What's with Mewtwo? What's the battle? Like, you know, there's so much going on there that like I just feel kind of lost, honestly, when it came to that little section. Not a bad thing by any means, like having your own little things in there for people who are, you know, already well clued up on your videos, but for someone like me, I've got no idea what's going on. I'm sorry, man.
Watching you. Out of the 22
This
mini
game
games that we
looks
will get
awful.
to play, first up is a game called
Looks like
Guess
everything that's
What?
wrong
This
with the
is a
Wii.
game where you and your friends each take turns poking holes into a present to try and figure out what is behind the wrapping paper.
I think I played this one with my friend's uncle before. I guess Dr. Barbie. It was not Dr. Barbie.
Next up is Slingshot.
Fuck! Come on, Kat. What are you fucking doing, man? Oh, you can't be having such fucking real jokes in there. Jesus Christ, man. Woo!
You shoot the targets as you drive past them.
I
It's
should
harmless.
actually say, by the way, Brat, because I haven't said too much about the video itself, it's because so far it's like it's good. Like the audio is well mixed. You know, your speech is very clear and you know, professional. I've really got no complaints in the video as well. Looks really clean and well done. So, bravo, you're nailing it, dog.
Balloon. These games are very cheap and simple to organize for a bunch of kids. Plus, in real life, you get those sweet ass prizes for winning, dude.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yes.
Next is Candleball, a game where you
The
spin a
fuck
track
was
ball
that?
with your Wii remote to light all of the candles
Super
of
fat
your
and robot,
assigned color.
Mega Man.
First one to light all the candles wins. This one is another one that
Is that Doki Doki Literature Club music? How dare you bring back the fucking bad memories like that?
I did not particularly excel at, by moving the Wii remote up and down horizontally as fast as you can.
Yeah, that looks like a hand job. I know I'm the first to come up with that joke. I'm so original.
Hat
Okay, that was good.
Mixer, it's the shell game. Copycat, it's Bop It. Cake Stacker, it's a product placement for Duncan Hines. And
I don't know what that
finally,
is.
we
Is that
have
American
Music
or Canadian?
Mania. It's a rhythm game. Hit the buttons in time with the arrows. I actually kind of like this one. The arrows can come at you from either direction on your display, so you actually have to pay attention. It wasn't perfect, but I thought it was kind of neat. So, 1 out of 22 ain't bad. Once you've finished playing 15 of these 22 games and you've completed the room, you get the reward of singing Happy Birthday to the birthday person.
Oh, this just looks awful.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Oh, happy birthday to you, Kat. Fuck, man.
Happy
What an emotional roller coaster.
birthday, dear BratKat. Happy birthday to me.
Ooh, nice red N64. Fuck yeah. Damn. Tomato Ghost is tall, dog.
That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a like if you liked it. Maybe subscribe if you want to see some more stuff. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to Pete, Petronius, and Tom, Tomato Ghost, for being a part of this video.
Huh. Okay. First of all, make sure I like that, yeah. So that was interesting. I do have some thoughts I want to get about that video. So the interesting thing about that was I liked the video, but I almost feel like the subject matter of the game itself wasn't very interesting. And I'm not trying to be, again, I'm just trying to be as honest as I can about my opinions here, but like, because I'm trying to learn from this as well, you see. And I think that says a lot, because I've always thought like you can review anything or do a video like this about anything and it can be interesting. But when the game is just kind of like that fucking generic and kind of dull looking, it really does kind of make you think like why am I watching this? You know? Outside of that, the parts with Petronius and Tomato Ghost, I feel like their sections were interesting, but I feel like the punchline at the end with them actually being in the same place as you, which is interesting. I just feel like the punchline wasn't really good enough, personally. I feel like not enough really happened. I'm trying to think of like a way that it could have been better, if anything. Like, it's a party game. Maybe you should have had some kind of fucking, I don't know, playing the party game. Like it's clearly a game intended for kids. You had alcohol, a game where you just like fucking playing it and you're all shit-faced because you decided to turn it into a drinking game because that's how adults roll, or that kind of thing. So I definitely feel like there was areas in there for improvement, and the parts with Tomato Ghost felt particularly a little bit too self-indulgent to his content. So for me, that kind of did take away a little bit, because I was left just confused more than anything, with no real answers given as to what the hell anything was. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, I'm just trying to be as honest as possible about that. But either way, good video, BratKat. Really solid effort, and I really did appreciate it. So anyway, let's move on. So up until now, these have all been YouTubers that I somewhat know. Next, we have a YouTube channel called BroUp Games. Now, BroUp talks to me on Twitter occasionally, but I haven't really checked out BroUp Games' content much, if I'm honest. So let's give it a look. Ooh, fuck. I think these next three are actually a little bit longer, so I'm still not sure how I'm going to formulate this video. If I might chop it up and just give you highlights. So this is BroUp Games Space Dicks, A Tale Told in No Man's Sky.
The video you are about to watch is not a Let's Play. It's closer to a machinima, but it isn't really that either. Click whatever you like. But whatever you do, don't click away.
Cool intro. I like that.
Now that's a hole. Nitrous, you there, buddy? Goddamn cell signal. Nitrous, do you read?
The protector you are trying to reach is unavailable. Would you like to try Falcon?
Why is my creature scanner not working?
You've suffered brain damage from the crash.
Maybe we should call Falcon then. He'd love that.
The protector you are trying to reach is unavailable.
Hey, while we're at it, if I'm a robot, why do I have an AI voice in my head?
You've suffered brain damage from the crash.
Fuck it. Let's just reboot into safe mode. Reconfiguring lifelike vocal patterns.
I hate reverting to factory settings. I can never get my shit right.
Whoa there. Adjusting attitude.
Alright, Tino, come on. What's the last thing you remember? Oh, I really thought my memories would be
Nice
higher
editing,
resolution. That settles it, though. I have never been here.
Are you sure?
I think I would remember naming a planet Butts Omega. Speaking of which, where in the universe are we?
Incorrect.
What?
We are not in the universe. We are in a universe, but it's not the universe you're used to.
Open Planetary Codex. It can't be empty. I spent years working on that.
Launching first time setup.
Reticulating splines. I like the camera angles.
Sorry, you gonna...
I'm going. Alright, what the fuck are you, little buddy? You're like a fucking land crab with octopus tentacles, so you're a crabtopus. The fuck?
On the double feature screen, yo dick went straight to DVD. My dick, bigger than a bridge. Yo dick look like Gary.
Okay, I gotta say right at the bat, I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. That's so far. That's all I'm really thinking is kind of like I'm into this so far, but I'm a little bit like, what the fuck am I watching? You know, like in the sense of like what is the intended kind of thing here? I know it's supposed to be some sort of like story told within No Man's Sky, but so far a lot of like buzzwords and stuff have been hit at me, like planetary codex, this, that, the other thing, and I'm like, I've no idea what's going on yet.
It's time. Damage I'm gonna be able to do with this mining laser. Oh. Okay, cool. The fuck did it drop? Hold on. Is that a whole can of ammunition? Holy shit, dude. How did it...
Okay, I think I get it. So far it's like we got this robot guy who he himself is kind of not exactly an amnesiac, nothing like that, but he's kind of lost memory of like what the fuck's going on. He's lost all his details and stuff like that. He's aware he's a robot at the very least. So in a way, it kind of works from a viewer point of view, because if the character you're supposed to follow throughout this is also kind of lost, it means that you'll learn together with him. Am I right in thinking that? I think that's the way to interpret this, right? Anyway.
They fit that thing in there.
Oh shit, they're here.
Did he just...
Hey, don't scan me, that's rude. Oh shit, don't shoot me.
Oh, so you can talk now. Okay. Let's not kill this one.
Why?
Because maybe no more will spawn if we leave it alone.
But it's killing me. That thing is a bloop.
A bloop? So wait a minute.
I'm thinking about this. I'm confused as to like, see the voiceover. I'm wondering if it's sort of like Let's Play style, where, like, I'm sure at this point a lot of you guys watching this are familiar with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Redubbed, or whatever that project's called. I can't remember exactly what the video is called. It gives me those sort of vibes, but like, I'm not sure if he recorded the audio for this while he was playing it, or if it's dubbed over. It could even be a mixture of the both, where certain bits are dubbed over for the sake of the narrative. Because I don't know if it's like an off-the-cuff kind of story in No Man's Sky, or if it's some sort of like, you know, like he's written it after the fact. So he captured a bunch of footage and then turned it into a story, or if he's just gone along and made a sort of Let's Play machinima-ish kind of story concoction. So far, it's pretty interesting.
You name things too? Oh my god, there's a fucking robot behind you!
What the hell is this thing? Oh, he hurts. Oh shit, he hurts bad. Save me, Bloop. I'm going back in this damn cave.
I quite like the voice
I have a crazy
filters.
idea. What if we ran to our ship and flew far away? What if we sealed up the mouth of this cave? The mouth of this cave.
Alright, we're safe.
Whoa! It teleported me to the top for some reason. I'm up here with it.
Oh man. Oh, I'm safe.
No! Killing the only other person I've met in this universe.
How convenient. It appears you're about to make several new
Digging the music.
Oh no.
Oh, I like that shot.
Oh no! Oh, I am being shot in space!
Wait, you left the planet?
I did! We were getting shot on the ground, so I left the planet!
Well, that was a mistake.
Oh yeah? How do you figure?
The new guy left and they stopped attacking me.
Calculating. Calculating.
Oh fuck.
Come on, big guy.
They're here for me!
No kidding.
Don't be a dick.
I can't fight these guys off with a fucking
Okay, I'm digging
mining
this.
laser.
Good news. That isn't a mining laser.
Unlike protector
It feels
ships, which
epic,
are
you know?
typically outfitted for exploration, our new acquaintance's ship appears to be outfitted with military-grade defenses.
I have missiles in this ship?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
God, it's been so long since I flown a ship with guns on it. Okay, I may have overreacted. Between the photon cannon and the rocket launcher, I've got this. Don't worry about me.
Canceling distress signal.
Alright, let's not jump the gun here. Oh shit. Turn that shit back on.
I can't. That shit's canceled.
Why are you like this? Fucking hell. Alright, just point to, man. Come on. God, what the hell are these controls? Where the fuck?
Okay. I like your taste in music, bro. Yep.
Is the stick? Okay, I've got it. Oh, I don't got this. Okay, this one's going down. Hey, fuck you. Got him. Who else wants some? Oh shit. That is melting my hull. I know you're on the ground, but I can really use some help up here.
Okay, hold the fuck on. This is part crab, part praying mantis, and I don't like it.
It's not even hostile.
Look at this bitch.
I'm looking.
What's this thing look like?
It's like a crab mantis.
Alright, that thing's officially a crapness.
Nice.
Crapness.
No. Let's hit him.
More of this music, please.
Man, these guys can't fly through shit in the atmosphere.
Dual barrel. You know what? That would have been a good idea. Oh, fuck. If I was going to make this, right? I know I shouldn't be, like, telling people how to do a thing. I would have done that, man. You see, like, whenever you have the other guy talking while you're in the ship, have, like, the little text box appear from Star Fox with a picture of the other guy and the text appear in there. That would have been fun, I think. Okay, that's just me interjecting my own creative ideas here, but either way, I'm kind of digging this. I really am.
You're really gonna...
Yep. Fuck off, dude.
One more. Don't fuck it up.
I mean, she was steaming.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You have no idea how much it means to me, and you have no idea how many people probably get about 2 minutes in and go, this is fucking stupid, and leave. So it just means the world to me. We work really hard on these things. We want to do them for a living, and it's not going to happen without you guys. So if you don't mind, don't leave without hitting a button. Any button will do. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell, you can dislike the fucker if you didn't like it. We just need your feedback. And hell, if you can't support us with your wallet, you can always support us with your time. Go ahead and swing by the links below to spend more time with us. Take care and wash your fucking hands.
Should we leave a comment? Let's leave a comment. Beautiful. So yeah, bro up. That was interesting. I'm trying to think of like a way to compare that video to something else, but it was it was unique. I can say that much. It was I won't lie, I kind of see what you mean. Like, when you first go in, you even say it in the video at the end there, like, oh, you wouldn't understand the amount of people who fucking get 2 minutes in, like, oh, this is bullshit or something like that. And I will admit, probably ordinarily, I probably would have clicked off. But I'm glad I didn't, if that makes sense. It's weird. It's more a problem with, like, people and myself in general. We have very small tolerances for things we don't understand. If we get into a video and we don't immediately find ourselves, like, you know, engaging with it and understanding it, you just think, oh well, I can go find something else. But no, like, honestly, it was really good, and the battle sequence was really fucking epic. Like, I'm not entirely sure what your channel is exactly. If it's more stuff like that, then that is quite interesting, because it's different from your usual kind of shit you get where it's like, oh, let's play episode 600 of Minecraft, you know, like that kind of stuff. At least you take what, like, a let's play-ish kind of concept, and try and turn it on its head a little bit. As you say, it's not quite a Let's Play and it's not quite machinima. It's kind of a weird mix of both, at least in the instance of that video. What I can say is it was definitely a fun time. It was quite nonsensical and it's just kind of silly fun, really. I can't say I knew exactly what was going on throughout. I'm left a little bit reeling from it, thinking like I don't really know what I just watched, but I know what I did watch was a fun time, and the voices and characters there within were really good. So yeah, top-notch job, Bro Up Games. I'm gonna go get a coffee or something in the meantime. So anyway, next video is from a guy called GrenadeManBlitz. Nade reviews Brave Fencer Musashi is the game. I've never seen this guy before, so I'm quite interested to see what we're about to witness. So let's jump into this and get going. Sick Mega Man intro, bro. Is it like animated?
Nade, you've been at this for hours now. I really think you should take a break and run a diagnostics.
Oh, the voice.
I'm fine.
Sorry, that female voice there, the effect on it were like really sharp in my ears. I was like, fuck.
I was wrong, believe me. I would know.
I like the visual style of it.
Would you look at that? Your arm fell off.
I'm gonna turn the volume down a little
Surely
bit.
you must be in the best condition.
It's just a flesh wound.
Look, I'll get the Metars to set up your diagnostic chamber.
Peach,
and...
I said I'm fine. Okay, yeah, maybe a break's alright.
Should I get the Metars?
Nah, I'll just sit this one off.
Sit this. Nade, you're not organic. You're not gonna just heal.
I'll get to the repairs later. Right now, I've got way more important things to do.
Which would be what?
This episode's fan mail!
Fuck yeah, that music.
Nade, we don't have a fan mail segment.
Well, we should have one.
We need more fans for that, Nade.
That's true. Man, this sucks. I bust my ass so hard making this show, and for what? 50 views? 100 if I'm lucky?
Aw, Nade. It's not about the views.
Well, then what is it about?
Well, you do have viewers. You've got people cheering you on. Sure, it's not like 1 million. Heck, it's not even a full 1,000. But those fans of yours look up to you and believe in what you're doing. They want you to succeed. And when that day finally comes, you'll have them to thank for it.
That's surprisingly insightful, Peach.
Oh, did you expect anything less from me?
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I have to keep doing this. Plus, what if YouTube attacks again? I gotta be ready for them.
You got a game review in mind?
Yeah, I think I do. You ever hear of the legend of Brave Fencer Musashi?
Can't say that I have. You seem to choose really obscure games. Which would explain the very low view count and low subscribers, but hey, who's counting?
Well, strap in tight, little turd. It's time for a history lesson.
71 views. Fuck, that's sad, man. God damn.
You just call me a little turd?
The year is 1990.
I will say though, opening a video complaining that you don't get enough views and stuff like that, well, I just don't feel like it contributes to anything, if I'm honest. Like, and the thing is, yeah. So like, if you open a video complaining about views, it's sort of like it pushes this notion that you're a small YouTuber, which obviously we're in the same kind of club. We're small YouTubers, etc. But you shouldn't put yourself in that box. You should make things with a broad appeal and not worry about the details and stuff like that so much, because you know, like, do you really want to get to the point where you have like 50,000 subscribers or something like that, and people are coming back and watching this video and it's you complaining about not getting enough views? I don't know, man. It's just not a good practice to complain about YouTube and stuff in videos like that. Even I've done it in the past, like so don't worry. It's things people do, but I just think it's not a good idea, is all I'm saying. Because visually, your videos are really interesting. They got, you know, a lot more going for them than many other game reviews you see out there, where it's like an actual sort of pseudo animation style, which is really good. You know, like I've helped my friend Eggs and Bacon Bits with art for his reviews, which are somewhat the same kind of idea. So you've definitely got the potential for a good show here, but it's just a matter of, you know how people say, when they struggle to talk to people, talk to the person as if they're already your friend. In this instance, talk to YouTube as if you've already made it. You know what I mean? That's the takeaway here, I think, is your conduct should be that of a professional. It's not necessarily about how much views you're getting, it's more about the quality of your work, you know, that kind of thing. If you focus on the numbers too much, it can be a turn off for people, is what I'm saying. Anyway.
98, a few months before Ocarina of Time comes out. Everyone is getting ready for what's shaping up to be the biggest game release of all time, something that no one could have known would pave the way for gaming for years to come. Usurping the competition, a little company known as Squaresoft decides to release a game they've been working on, a title known as Brave Fencer Musashi. The title would be loosely based on the real samurai coming to the land of all-you-can-eat to stop the Thirst Quencher Empire. Silly names, right?
No, I'm not talking to you. You called me a little turd.
Oh, right, sorry. I was doing a thing. Look, when you're level 1, that's the title the game gives you.
I'm still not a little turd.
This game oozes with charm and personality. From the very beginning of the game, the voice acting is...
I like that you've got a sort of companion character with this Peach character. I don't know, I like that. It's fun to have like you know, a second person to bounce things off of. It can often help push comedy a little bit. Like, I do everything myself personally because that's the way I like to operate, but there's definitely merit in having a second person on board, especially a female as well. You don't get enough females doing this kind of shit. And I don't know why that is. You know what I mean? Look at BratKat. She's out there fucking doing it to him. I don't know why more females don't do that kind of thing. It's good content. Yeah, it's nerdy, but you get nerdy females. What can you do?
Surprisingly, pretty damn good for the time.
Triangles.
Princess Filet sounds like a girl her age in the 90s would. The guy doing Stuart Ribson is hamming it up big time without sounding out of character. And Musashi, mwah, mwah, Mona Marshall, bring it home, baby.
Who did you say was puny? And why are you guys wearing such stupid
Hey,
costumes?
that's Digimon voice actor,
Seriously,
right?
Mona Marshall,
That's,
the
Dizzy.
voice from Kite and Dot Hack, and Izzy from Digimon, stars in the titular role, and she fucking nails it. Princess.
I'm Rude Trick, and you're...
The princess tells you about
Fucking hell.
Lumina's
Lie
main
the
move,
Kale
which
guy.
is literally
Nice.
just the hero, this guy and that guy tell you about your quest. Princess has been kidnapped, along with most of the castle, and you've got to save them, and find the 5 scrolls, and liberate the crest belonging to them. A hero's work is never done, right? A simple...
I appreciate the little, like, sort of visual gags you got going on within the game itself, like adding the triangle, adding the little, like, fucking gags and stuff like that. It's a nice touch, honestly, and I do appreciate it. It gave me a little chuckle.
That sounds gross. Thankfully, I don't have actual eyeballs, so I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
I mean, I could program ooze into
You do that? I'll program the castle defenses to think that you're a hostility.
I didn't write that into your code. You can't do that.
Oh, can't I?
Okay, Peach. That's nice. Please make the guns go away now.
Nah, I think I'm gonna leave them here for a bit.
I'm not kidding around, Peach. Please put the guns away. The game itself, like I said before...
See, the cutaways, like, to, like, your character and that talking, they're good, but I kind of want to say they overstay their welcome a little bit. They're a little bit too long-winded, you know? Maybe that's just from my perspective, because I haven't really watched much of your content, so I don't really know exactly what I'm getting into. I do think they're a good addition. I just feel like you need to be a little bit more clever and snappy with the writing on them, is all. That's all I'm thinking initially, like, from a total, like, you know, beginner point of view when it comes to your videos, you know.
Or oozes with charm. Every townsperson has something to say to you, and it's usually either useful information or world building. For example, Mint here will tell you that Tim has a legendary helmet. Well, after talking to John here and doing his quest,
An empty soda pop bottle. What's this doing?
Musashi, my dude, that ain't soda. Fucking localization, am I right? Peach, for the love of the great hiatus, please put the guns away.
Why should I?
Because I don't want to have to use an extra life to respawn.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you can do that.
Honestly, I did too.
Let's see. 992 lives. Holy crap! How do you have so many?
Bonus levels.
Oh, that must come in handy.
Well, for the most part, I can only respawn at the start of a level or if I'm at home in home base.
Level?
Yeah, like if I had lost a life inside of the YouTube base, I would have just respawned there.
That seems like a design flaw.
Like you said, comes in handy.
I'm very curious as to who does your art. If it's yourself, because like I do my art, and a lot of people assume if you have art in your YouTube videos that you don't do it yourself. So it's very much a possibility that you do it yourself. But it's a very good style. It reminds me a little bit of Kevin Fagaragan from the Yeti. He does a lot of Yeti designs anyway. It's got a very similar visual style to that. Just kind of wondered.
One of my favorite things in Musashi is death quotes. When you die, Musashi will say a line like, "Ugh, that's not it for me." Or my personal quote, "If I'm gonna be reincarnated, I want to be Musashi again." Then, when you respawn, Musashi wakes up in his bed like nothing happened, waking up from a dream and exclaiming how he has to get a move on. What a fucking beast. This Kojiro sucks. I mean, I think he's supposed to. It's not a terrible fight. I mean, he as a character sucks. He's the epitome of, "Haha, I'm your greatest rival." But I think that's what the game is going for.
Nate, do you have a rival?
A rival? No, but I have an arch enemy.
Krieg, right?
Hey, you're learning.
Well, you had an arch enemy. I'm pretty sure you blasted him into space dust.
Well, you can't be too careful. I didn't actually see his body.
Huh. Ominous.
We're probably fine. I don't think he's the villain this season.
Maybe you need a rival. Someone to really challenge you and push you to be better.
I am Neganade, GrenadeManBlitz's greatest rival.
Okay, nope, we're not doing this. Peach?
I'm on it.
That was great reaction time, Peach. You're getting really good at that.
I've been practicing.
Practicing? With what?
Oh, the Metars.
You've been blasting the Metars into space?
They said something about death before dishonor. Maybe they meant debt is a dishonor. Because of the whole we want to raise thing. It's not like we paid them in the first place. But yeah, I've been shooting at them.
I have no idea how I'm going to tie this back into the review.
Me neither. But hey, look, I can use a gun.
Giant ants! Giant ants invade the town and...
Yeah, like, that was good. I liked that, okay? But as I said, I think it just overstays its welcome just a bit. Like the humor there with when Neganade came in, after he got shot and then the gun went away, that would have been the perfect time to cut. But there was a good like 10-15 seconds after that of just kind of fluff, really. And as the viewer, it's a lot of stuff that... Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to. It's like, yeah, it's fine to do these cutaways and stuff, but I don't know the context for a lot of the jokes, I guess. So you got to. It's helpful to make everything as its own standalone entity without any prior reading required, unless you're making like a series.
Whatever, he's cool, but then he dies, and you give him Lumina, and oh man, Lumina was holding back the Wizard of Darkness. That's the beefiest wizard I've ever seen. Holy shit!
How many wizards have you seen?
In my line of work, you see a lot of wizards.
That doesn't make any sense.
So many wizards. He kills Flatsky, goes after you, but then fucking Kojiro shows up and gets absorbed by him and turns into this thing.
Oh, it's Blue Eyes.
And this fight sucks. I'm not a fan of it at all. You got a bad...
Yo, the character illustrator is Tetsuya Nomura. I feel like that would have been worth mentioning, honestly. Maybe you just didn't realize it or something like that. I don't know. That's cool, though.
Not even close to perfect. Hey, Samurai Legend Musashi, what do you think of your game?
Not good.
Hey, Peach. Peach, hey, Peach. Ask me if it's Christmas yet.
Nate, it's
Come on,
not
just
even...
come on. Just come on, do it. Just ask.
Okay, fine. Is it Christmas yet?
Not yet.
I don't get it.
And you never will. And with that, I feel a bit better, you know?
Why's that?
Because Musashi started off all whiny and lame, but by the end of the game, he had grown into his own, became a hero, and he did it selflessly. I gotta be more like that, you know? I don't have a billion fans, that's true, but I gotta do this because somewhere out there, someone watching my channel is excited when my next video comes out, and it brightens up their day. And that's what it means to be a good YouTuber.
Huh? That's really sweet of you.
Plus, if I stop now, I'll never get famous and rich.
Yeah, we're back to square one.
Alrighty, Peach, play us out!
Is this gonna be a thing?
As often as I want it to be. Good night, everybody. Video games are the best video games. Later!
So, first things first, GrenadeManBlitz. Like, subscribe, hit that bell. Really impressed. Honestly, I'm so impressed by your content here. It just feels like it's got a lot of care put into it, you know. And 771 subscribers, man. That's pretty good. You should feel proud about that. Honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about the views and stuff like that. If there's one thing I'm taking away from this, because you say in the description, a new video less than a month after the last. If you want to improve your view rates and stuff like that, it's literally a matter of just kind of keeping things coming out quicker. That you got to remain relevant by staying in people's faces and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, honestly, that was really good. Like I said, the review portion itself, very good, very detailed. You went from voiceover with music to gameplay audio. You singled out individual parts that you thought were interesting and worth mentioning. And I feel like coming away from that review, I look at that game, Brave Fence Musashi, and I think it looks awesome. I want to play that game now. You've made me really interested in checking it out, and that's kind of the intent of a review of a niche game like this, is making it so you come away wanting to invest some time into playing or finding a copy of this game to play yourself, you know? Like I say, the only thing that is a little bit of a negative for me, I guess, is like I like your characters. I like the banter between them and stuff like that. The only thing I think is like the writing could be better. Like I know you want these cutaways because you want these characters to be a big part of it. That's the personality of the show, right? But I feel like writing wise, a lot of it felt kind of unnecessary. You got to make the jokes really quick and snappy in some aspects, but also I just feel like the writing should be a lot more solid. You should have a lot more to say, because there were so many moments where, you know, Nade would say something and then Peach would spend like a good few sentences just be like, huh? What's that? That makes no sense. And that's kind of like that's a thing about writing that I'm not a fan of personally. It does just feel, I don't want to be a dick, but it feels kind of self-indulgent in a way. You know what I mean? Like you're spending more time on these characters because you like them, but it comes at the expense of you end up wasting people's time a little bit because there's not much valid content. You need to make what they're saying a little bit more significant, is all I'm saying. Please don't get upset at me, because I honestly think it's a really good video overall, and I want to see you do more, and I would love to see you succeed. We need more content like this on YouTube, we really do. So honestly, GrenadeManBlitz, keep fucking doing it, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're nailing it. You really are. I just think it could be improved in some ways, but other than that, you're doing a fucking stellar job. Really awesome shit, man. Anyway, I need to take another intermission because I'm fucking starving. And then we're on to the final one, which is the longest one. So some time has passed since I did the other videos. In fact, it's like a whole day later. So we've got one more to look at, and I believe this one's the longest one. And what's interesting about this one is the Cartoon Gamer, he actually sent this to me himself on Twitter. He's got quite a lot of subscribers. He's got like 35,000 subscribers or something like that. I'm like, fucking hell, it's wild. So let's check out Mr. 35k and find out if he's really earned those subs, which I'm sure he has. I'm just being a bit facetious, don't worry. Right, let's get into this.
I've been watching television and cartoons my whole life, and being Canadian, I was subject to a lot of Canadian-made stuff. Canadian content tends to get a bad rap online, especially with animation, with stuff like Johnny Test and George of the Jungle being the frontrunners. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll find we've put out a lot of great shows over the years that next to nobody talks about, referred to as Major Bedhead. Another one I watched was The Biddles, a show about little creatures building books from the ground up, and that one's also very well made. By the time it aired, I read just fine, but it had such a charm to it, and I just liked watching it. All the shows I've mentioned have something going for them, and I'll still go back and watch them every now and then. It's all just super charming and adorable. I also gotta give mention to the Treehouse voice guy, who's been involved with the network since day one and is still there. One of my animation teachers from college is like best friends with the guy, and he told me some great stories. Now, why TV and Teletoon were what I watched—
Damn, that's some really fucking cool, like, anecdotal kind of things to add to it, you know? Damn, that's really interesting. I'm just gonna have a little quick look at a few things, right? So 32,000 subs. Sorry, I said too much. Well, firstly, I'm gonna subscribe right away, like the video. Hey, look, it's fucking Nitro. Let's give him a thumbs up as well. What's up, James? What's up? Yeah, so far really, really stellar quality, because you're talking about a lot of things that I've never seen before. But I feel like because you're presenting it in such a anecdotal way as well, you're giving me a lot of context for how like you enjoy it, how it's had an impact on you, and also addressing the fact that maybe people like myself haven't really seen it because I don't know how many of these things really aired in the UK. So this is Canadian specific TV, I think. Yeah, it seems like it. Well, so far I'm pretty impressed. Let's get going with a bit more Cartoon Gamer.
Watched a ton of, and if they had the same output of quality now as they did once before, you'd have to pry me away from the television. In my areas, YTV was generally channel 25 or 30 in one place I lived, and Teletoon was influential for sure. I also like the Teletoon announcers. Those promos had their own brand of hilarious.
Listen, all you TV watching ones, there is one man who most best results from million years evolution. Women, them is much impressed for him, you know. How I know this? Him write this myself. I a hero! Oh, really? Did I go to night school for this?
Alright, now that I've given you a brief look at...
Okay, so I'm not complaining, right? I'm just going to specify this because it's interesting to me, right? This video is another example of a YouTuber going off the general blueprint that most people who do this kind of content, and the same as applies to myself, where they have this sort of like voiceover with music in the background and they just kind of talk with footage playing over it. And this one does it the way I like, where they do that, but they'll cut away to actual audio of like the topic they're talking about. Because I like I say, I think I said it on the other video yesterday, a lot of videos can sometimes feel like it's just a dude talking without much variety to what's going on. Like, it's fine to have that, but I do like it personally a bit more when you cut to like things that are happening in the game or the movie or whatever it is you're talking about. Just, you know, little examples to further reinforce what it is you're talking about, because it also makes you, it's also like it just breaks up the action in a way where like it sort of resets your patience a little bit, because those parts are interesting to watch and listen to, where it's like, yeah, like someone can tell me about something, and that's gonna give me like a rough idea of what it's like, but I'm not gonna get a full picture unless they show it to me, you know, in and of itself, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, so far presentation wise, really good job.
Look at how things were structured up here. Let's get into some of the cartoons that I watched. Here's one of my favorites, and I hope it's one of yours. Sticking Around. This is definitely what you would call a staple. It ran on YTV from 96 to 98, but was in reruns for an entire decade after, so I saw this show front to back hundreds of times. It follows Stacy and Bradley and their friends and the stuff they get up to from their crazy perspective. The show kinda reminds me of Ed, Edd n Eddy in terms of the art style. It does the whole line boiling thing with the outlines, notably in the earlier seasons, but also had characters' colors.
This looks familiar. I feel like I might have seen this at some point.
5-year-old's drawing. Guys, like, Dill is one of my favorite characters, okay? Polly was the smartest one of them all, and she carried her dog Pepperoni everywhere with her, even though he's very clearly dead. But when someone tells her this, she gets so upset and denies it until they say,
this guy here, like with the glasses, he reminds me of someone. I'm trying to think what it. Oh wait, it's from one of those Nickelodeon tunes, isn't it? What's it called? Yeah, I think it might be someone from this show, I guess. Huh, I don't know, just a little bit of a tangent there, but I just kind of was thinking, like, who does he remind me of?
Okay, fine, he's not. That's messed up, but it's still really funny. There was another really good joke I want to talk about. There was an episode where Stacy had a mouse problem.
That's got cable.
Sticking Around is just pure silliness and a ton of fun for kids and the kids at heart.
This is the Evergreen Forest. Quiet, peaceful, serene.
Ah, now here's the
fucking raccoons, man. I had a VHS tape of raccoons when I was a kid. Oh, we have context, boys.
Essential Canadian show. I think Canadian law states you have to at least be aware of the raccoons. It's a bit before my time, but it aired for years in reruns on APTN, a network geared towards our...
Bit before your time. Fuck. Is it my time? I'm gonna check. How long? When did the raccoons? Because honestly, I think it might be before my time. I think I got the VHS from my uncle, I think, who is a bit older. First episode, 1985. Yeah, definitely a bit before my time. I was born in 1993, so just missed the boat on that one. So anything I saw of the raccoons was, you know, a VHS or what have you. So I think my experience with that show is very limited. I think I caught it on TV a few times though. Same with Moomins. I feel like I remember watching that as a kid. Is that what it's called? You know, the Moomin Show? Whatever. Fuck it.
Our First Nations population, I guess because the most unique things I've ever heard. His voice is very raspy, but he gets a lot of mileage out of it.
I told you time and time again when you were drawing up those plans, Cedric, a car has to eat gas, belch smoke, and burn pavement. And
I appreciate the imitation of the voice. That gave me a little chuckle.
necessarily in that order.
But Pop, you approved everything.
You must have caught me in a good mood.
For years, I had no idea what he or... I was speechless, thinking, no, that can't be how it ends. That's not fair! Turns out at the very end, it's implied she survived, and seeing Jose make it out of that scuffle without a scratch, that was good too. You know, if we can't get a continuation of this series, at least release the full theme song to tide us over until we do. I know it's out there somewhere. What's the holdup?
Damn, that cape.
Here we got For Better or For Worse, based off the...
I know I'm not really saying a whole lot just now, but I think it's because I'm just so enamored by this video. Like it's very interesting because I have no real experience with a lot of these shows, and they're being presented in a very good way. I've got no complaints so far. This is really fucking amazing content.
The comic strip of the same name, which is also Canadian. This wanted to delve a little bit behind the scenes on Canadian animation. One of my good friends has a dad who's worked in the Canadian landscape for the last 30 years, and his name is Mike Zunyaska. He's been an animator on The Raccoon, 16, Carl Squared, Rupert, Ned's Newt, the first 6 episodes of Ren and Stimpy. If it was Canadian, more specifically from Nelvana, chances are he had a hand on it somehow. He was also the art director of Stickin' Around for the first season, something I discovered when I watched an episode on tape, saw his name in the credits, and went, oh, of course. And if you remember the show Fun Pack, basically the Canadian equivalent of What a Cartoon or Oh Yeah Cartoons, he had his own recurring segment on there titled Martini and Meatballs, which was one of my favorites because the characters all talked this insane garble, and it had a weird Picasso-ish 2D art style. There was a behind-the-scenes video about all the shorts where he's featured in it, and I showed it to him a while back, and he was just like, oh man, I can't watch this, I'm so embarrassed. Fun Pack's also where the show Sidekick has its roots, and
it's kind of just like smaller than I realized, because you've got so many anecdotes about specifically Canadian animation that are, and like knowing someone who is a fucking industry vet, 30 years in the animation industry in Canada, just happens to be one of your friend's dads. That's kind of crazy, honestly, dude. I feel like there's nobody more qualified to talk about this than you, based on what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? Damn.
I remember when that show premiered, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the show from Fun Pack from like way back. And when I told Mr. Zunyaska, he just went, oh shoot, Todd got his own show. Sidekick itself was okay. I didn't really watch it too much. Now some of you might be asking yourselves, wait, where's this show? Where's this show? Why didn't you talk about this show? Well, that's what part 2 is for. So tune in next time as we check out more great stuff from the Great White North. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to give this video a like, share it with a friend, subscribe, check out all my social media pages, check out my Patreon page, all that good stuff. And while you're here, here's some other videos I think you should check out. Might I suggest checking out Nitro Rad's video on Canadian television? That's a great watch and features some cameos from other Canadian YouTubers, and I somehow managed to sneak in there too. Be sure to check that out if you like this video. And do any of you have a Canadian cartoon that you enjoy? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. And with all that said, I will see you guys next time. Later.
Hang on, we gotta do a comment. So, right, let's sum up the Cartoon Gamer 8000. That video was incredibly well put together. It felt like it was coming from a place of knowledge. Like you very much give across this idea that you know what you're talking about, and all these little anecdotes that you came up with where like you have some sort of prior experience with the animation industry through people you know. Well, there was just like a genuine passion for the show as you were talking about there, and it was really interesting. And in terms of like the video itself, voiceover was clean, the audio mixing was really nice, the examples of the show and the footage used were all really high quality and well presented. And your voiceover, especially like the end slate for stuff, the end slate kind of outro blurb, you've just got this sort of like personality that makes me want to continue watching more, you know. So, man, Cartoon Gamer, 32,000 plus subs. Well deserved, dude. Like legit, your content is fucking stellar, and I will definitely be sticking around for more. In fact, I'm gonna hit the bell. Cartoon Gamer, hook me up, dude. Let's collab. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed this little look at other YouTubers. If you did enjoy this show and you'd like to see more, I guess either tweet at me if you're a YouTuber yourself, a video that you'd like me to cover, or I don't know, I could just try and do another one. We'll figure it out as we go. It depends on how this one does, really, because going into the show I wasn't really sure how to formulate it. I don't even know how long this is going to end up being, but yeah, I had a lot of fun checking out some YouTubers I don't usually sit around and watch, you know. YouTube is this untapped space of like so many smaller creators that just haven't gotten the chance to get the spotlight yet, and as demonstrated by today, they're all so good in their own little ways, you know what I mean? Obviously, we all have improvement to do throughout. I don't claim to be perfect at what I do, but it's safe to say that we've seen some really stellar examples today of people who are definitely going to go far, providing, you know, they continue to feel motivated and do it, you know? So everybody that I covered today, please continue doing what you're doing. I will happily watch, and I will happily be there along for the ride. And yeah, thank you for sending me these videos on Twitter, and thank you for participating in this. When I tweeted it, people didn't really know what they were getting themselves into, so I hope I didn't shock anybody by basically being like, I'm going to look at and critique your videos, but I think it ended up being a really good time. So with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and again, if you want more of this, maybe let me know in the comments just to see. I'd really like to see how people interpret this show and if you'd like to see more of it. And like I say, if you're a YouTuber yourself, drop me a link, and we'll maybe feature you in another one. I don't even know what the show's called yet. Either way, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.